Remember to like and subscribe, it really helps the channel. I caught my wife sleeping with my brother-in-law. She's pregnant, am I the father? I really don't know why I'm doing this. I've been drinking a lot today, so if I start to make no sense, you all will know why. My wife is 38, and I'm 40. She was always sure that we'd never have kids. I wanted them, but I loved her more than I wanted to get married. We met when I was 20 and she was 18. By the time I was 22, we were married. She came from a very wealthy family, and her parents didn't like me. They think that she married someone who was not as well off as she was. When she went to see her parents a few months ago, her dad bought her a new car. Her parents have a lot of money, and since I trusted her, I didn't ask her about it. Also, her father has always given her gifts over the years. What would make this one different? A few weeks ago, she told me she was pregnant, which made me very happy. I'm happier than I've ever been. But it didn't last long. A friend called me and said he'd seen her with her sister's husband, her brother-in-law, while she was visiting her parents. She hadn't told me she'd seen him. They've always had a strange relationship that made me feel uncomfortable, but I tried to comfort myself by thinking that she chose me. He was an option, but she chose to be with me. When my friend sent me some pictures, it made a big difference. The pictures showed a couple who was very close to each other. The picture showed them looking at each other and holding hands. The gestures between people who know each other well. She was looking at home with a look I thought was just for me. As he kissed her, his hands were in her hair. It looks like he probably bought her the car. I asked her what happened and she lied. Told me that she hadn't seen him. Told me I should know how they felt about each other and that she needed to be civil. Extremely polite. I told her to leave after I showed her the pictures. That happened last week. Then I did some mental math and saw that the dates made sense. There is a good chance that he is the father of the baby. I asked her for a DNA test today, and she went crazy. The idea of putting her baby through a test made her sick. But I'll never accept this child as my own if I don't have one. This whole thing has made me think twice about getting married. Not only that, but she's been honest the whole time. How many of the gifts she's gotten over the years have been from her father? Has she just put her legs out for any man who buys her something nice? Have I really gotten married to a prostitute? I sent the pictures to her sister. Not because it was the right thing to do, but because I thought she should know. This is the best way I can think of right now to hurt my wife and brother-in-law. I think I'm going to talk to a lawyer on Monday and start the divorce process. Thank you for reading, and I'm sorry if this is confusing. I've had a lot to drink and my mind isn't in the best shape. Edit, thank you for your help. Those who don't believe me can do what they want. Since this is the internet, I can see why you might be skeptical. I need her permission to do a DNA test, and she has made it clear that she won't give it. Next, I'll get a divorce and lose half of my things. The UK courts don't care as much about cheating. If you make spelling or grammar mistakes, you either have dyslexia or a lot of alcohol in your blood. Update 1. I haven't talked to my wife in almost a week. She sent me some messages and left me some voicemails, but I haven't answered any of them yet. I made it clear to her that I won't talk to her until she agrees to a DNA test. I spent Christmas with a good friend, and he helped me figure out what I should do with my life. In my early 20s, I used to row and box, and I want to start doing those things again. I'm also giving up drinking for the time being. It doesn't make me feel any better. Next week, I'm going to see a lawyer and a therapist. I want to get my head, heart, and legal situation in order so that I don't get too screwed up in the next few months. Whether I end up getting a divorce or not, I need to know what I can do and what will happen if I do. I've talked to my SIL a few times, and she's going to do the same thing as me in the new year, file for divorce. My brother-in-law has a young daughter, so things are going to get hard for them. If it turns out that the baby is his, they will have a really messed up family. I go from wanting the baby to not wanting the baby. If it's mine, I'll get to be a dad, but my life will get a lot harder. If it's someone else's, I can get rid of them all and start over, but the thought that she might be pregnant by someone else is very sad. If it isn't my child, I might move somewhere else. You could try to get a work visa in America, move to one of the company's offices in Europe, or live as a nomad for a few years and travel the world. I haven't given it much thought yet, but I don't think I'll stay in the UK. If it's mine, things will be a lot more difficult. She isn't a part of my plans for the future, so I haven't told her about them. That could change, but at the moment, it's not likely to. This is probably not the best update, but it is what it is. If she agrees to a DNA test, I'll let you know, but at this point, it doesn't look like that will happen. Update 2. I haven't posted anything in almost 6 months, and a lot has changed for me in that time. I was moved temporarily to one of my company's branches in the north. People say that a change is as good as a break, and that's true here. I needed to work somewhere different, and it was nice to be somewhere where I wasn't constantly reminded of my current situation. I realized how unhappy I had been in London when I got back home. I don't like living and working in this city, so I've decided to move. I also had a short-term, casual relationship with someone else, but it didn't go anywhere. I thought meaningless sex would help, and it did while I was doing it, but I always felt bad afterward, so I stopped. Last Monday, my wife gave birth to our son. She was also willing to take a DNA test. It was interesting to see her on Wednesday. I haven't really talked to her much in the last 6 months, so our meeting was very awkward. I've never really been liked by her parents, and the last few months haven't changed their minds. She kept asking me, as I held the baby, if I could feel it. I don't know what it is, but I felt something. I told her I wanted to move, and she was very excited about it. They kept saying that it could be a new beginning for us. She insisted that she had never been with another man. I'm not sure if I believe that or not, but I don't have any proof. I'm not sure if I want her to come along. A few days ago, I did get the results of the test, and it is my baby. She has made it clear where she stands. She wants us to live together as a single family. The thing is, I'm not sure if that's still what I want. The truth is that I no longer know what I want. My main feelings right now are confusion and uncertainty. Don't leave her or stay with her. Through our son, I am now tied to her in a lot of ways. It's something that I'm putting a lot of thought into before I decide. My therapist says that trust is the most important thing in any relationship, and that if you don't trust someone, you can't have a real relationship with them. He also asked me if I could trust her again, or if I could see myself being able to trust her again in the future. I don't know how to answer either question right now. I don't want any advice. I know that Reddit is a place where people talk to each other. I don't think I'll post another update because I don't see why I should.